Hello and welcome. Insomnia isn't a life sentence. It's not just how your brain works now. It's learned means it's reversible. What's causing your insomnia? Your answer is I'm stressed, having anxiety. My brain just won't shut off. I drank coffee too late. I watched something scary before bed. And you're not wrong. All of those things can disrupt sleep. But those things are almost never what causes chronic insomnia. Because if stress or caffeine alone caused insomnia, then once the stress passed, once the coffee wore off, you'd sleep normally again. But people with chronic insomnia don't. So what's really going on? In most cases, chronic insomnia is caused by one accidental habit. And the habit is staying in bed while awake. The worst thing you can do for insomnia. Not because you're lazy, weak, doing anything wrong, but because of what it teaches your brain. How you accidentally trained your brain. Not to sleep. Let's say you go to bed at 10 o'clock. You're tired, but you're not sleepy. So you lie there. Minutes pass. Then 30 minutes. Then an hour. And your mind turns on. You replay conversations. You worry about work, your health, relationships. And night after night, the same thing happens. Without realizing it, your brain learns something very specific. The bed is where we lie awake and worry. The bed stops being a sleep cue and becomes a stress cue. So even when you're tired, even when your body wants sleep, the moment your head hits the pillow, your brain switches into alert mode. That's insomnia. Most people respond to insomnia. They go to bed earlier, they stay in bed longer, they force themselves to rest, they watch the clock, they get angry that they're not sleeping. But sleep doesn't work like effort. You can't force it. The more you try to make sleep happen, the more your brain associates the bed with failure, frustration, and stress. And that's how insomnia becomes chronic. The most effective treatment for insomnia is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, and it's considered the gold standard treatment for chronic insomnia. Not sleeping pills, not supplements, not melatonin. CBT-I has been shown to help 70 to 80% of people with chronic insomnia, but it's incredibly powerful. The rule that rewires the brain. Here's the rule. If you can't sleep, get out of bed. If you're lying awake, not drowsy, and about 15 to 20 minutes have passed, you simply leave the bed. You do something low stimulation. You sit quietly, you read something boring. You keep the lights dim, no phone scrolling, no problem solving. And when you start to feel sleepy again, you go back to bed. If you wake up again and can't sleep, you repeat the process. But won't this make me more tired? This sounds miserable. I'm going to be exhausted. This will make my insomnia worse. What happens after? About a week. As your brain retrains, something shifts. You start falling asleep faster. You wake up less during the night. You stop lying awake for hours feeling frustrated. Your sleep efficiency improves, meaning the time you spend in bed is mostly spent sleeping. And that's the goal. Not more time in bed, better quality sleep. Brain imaging studies show that after CBT-I, stress response decreases. Cognitive function improves. Memory improves. Nighttime hyperarousal reduces. And most importantly, people sleep better without dependency, without sedation, without suppressing symptoms. It actually rewires the brain. The takeaway. So if you've been blaming your insomnia on why stress, anxiety, coffee, noise, one bad night. Understand this, those things may trigger insomnia, but staying in bed awake is what keeps it alive. And the way out isn't forcing sleep. It's retraining your brain to associate the bed with sleep again. This is how insomnia reversed. Sleep well. Good night.